It's going to be back to Oriana. Froggen, it's amazing. Okay, he's not the first person to try AP Oriana since the slight
Hmm.
changes. Charu's been running it for a long time in EU.
Yeah.
MYM's mid player. But I wouldn't say she's common. She's not a common AP mid over here at the moment.
Hmm.
So he's going to bust that out, bring it up against the Anivia, which the range she has should make it nice and useful, and the versatility that ball brings with the moving, if you like, with team fight, the mobility and the pulling each other about, the
Hmm.
movement speed boost, the slow, the shield for your teammates. Really strong, versatile champion.
The synergy with Nocturne is pretty good too. If you think about it, she
It's
can safeguard Nocturne, right? Put the shield on him. He can use his ultimate, get to whoever he wants. He can just centralize his ultimate, and then you're gonna see the ultimate on Oriana come out, and she's gonna be able to hit a lot of targets. You know, it's a very, very common combination is this Nocturne, Oriana Malphite. Champions with a displacement spell, so they can get in the middle, get where the ball needs to be to land a really, really good ultimate. So that's one thing you can watch out for. Even Aurelia can do that as well. You drop the ball on Aurelia, she can dash forward, slow somebody, run in the middle of everybody, and it's really hard to not let her run in the middle of everybody, especially when she can jump in the middle, and she's got the passive to reduce CCs, so she can get where she needs to go. So that ball, I feel, is going to be very, very well positioned for most of this game.
Why have CLG taken Graves Leonia? Graves Leonia? Leona. Corki's open, and Corki Leona is a much more common pairing, and we've already
Hmm.
seen Yellow Pete is perfectly comfortable playing Corki really well. So why are the thoughts behind Graves? Do they just want someone with that armor and magic resist from his passive to fight up against? Um, in fact, they picked it into nothing but Anivia.
I'm
But
surprised because Leona is usually used really, really well in a kill lane, but in this case, Leona is going to work well with Oriana. So uh, you got to determine: are they picking Leona because they want to kill lane bottom, or are they picking Leona to synergize with Oriana? In this case, since it's going to be Taric versus Varus, um, actually, I think Graves Leona is still going to win versus Varus Taric just because I feel the CC and the damage output from Leona Graves is going to be higher than Varus Tarek. Just because Buckshot is so much easier to hit multiple target than Layumi's or Varus's Q. The Q goes in a straight line, whereas the cone is going to split out and is going to hit people a lot easier. So I feel every single exchange, CLG.eu for bottom lane is going to come out ahead. So is this something I'm not familiar with this matchup, so it's something that I'm just guessing, and I have to come and watch and see.
so, sorry, Wicked. He's come to have an exhaust. It's very uncommon to see Wicked play a defensive top. I would say defensive, a restrained top lane. We know how aggressive he loves to be. He loves his aggressive top laners with like the Renekton dashing in, doing lots of damage, dashing away. They rarely are dashing in, causing all kinds of havoc, dashing away again. So seeing him without a flash and an ignite is a little bit uncommon. When you've got someone as strong as Riven in these early levels, maybe you need that exhaust just to keep yourself going, keep that or survive everything before about 6 or 7. We'll see how he plays it out, and to more to the point, what role the junglers play, because blue team notoriously hard to gank that top lane, and when you've got an Alistair, not the greatest top lane ganker. Mid, on the other hand, he can dominate. But we'll see what Froger can do to help Wicked out, or if, in fact, Alistair shows me up and does come and
Hmm.
help out in that top lane. Actually, there's a lot of ignites on Sypher this time. That's 3 ignites and no exhausts.
Last game, I thought they're kind of lacking at night. Now they're just going overboard. I think it's one of those things where I actually fall for this trap sometimes. You play a certain champion a certain way. You use the same masteries every time. You use the same or similar build and summoner spell. So uh, sometimes you just pick it because you're familiar with it, not because it's the best for a certain comp. I think in this composition, the Ignite's pretty good for Aurelia, but I'd still rather have Exhaust for Nocturne. I'd rather exhaust Aurelia when she goes in, because if you think about it, if you're exhausting Aurelia, she's doing less damage with her ultimate, so she's not going to be healing as much anyways. So uh, the exhaust, in my opinion, this game would be a little bit more strong than running 3 ignites.
Well, there's a delay period finished, so we're about to find out, and hopefully I load in perfectly this time. I mean, I got into the spectate eventually last time round, so that worked out. So I'm not going to touch anything. Let it do its thing.
Yeah, it's been working. I didn't touch anything and it loaded properly. I'm kind of sick of the spectrum mode dropping in the bottom quarter of my screen.
Yeah, it was fun the first couple of times it happened, but now it's just annoying.
Yeah, I didn't quite figure it out the first time. I'm like, what's going on? I had to hit escape, go to video settings, made it full screen, and I realized, oh, I can alt enter. I felt like a dummy. But it also messes up with my computer settings when I alt enter for some reason. I have no idea.
I'm in. Yes, loading completed. And it seems to be working smooth. Awesome. And Wicked's got that amazing new Aurelia skin. I don't know if he has that on his main account. I've only ever seen him play it on this account. Might be another reason why he stayed on here.
Oh man, I'm feeling so out of touch. I actually haven't...
Have you seen the win-losses on his Smurf?
Oh really? What is it?
He's ranked. He's like 2,400 ELO. He's like 56 games to 3 or something?
56 to 3?
Something like that. He's got screenshots on his Facebook because he's quite proud of it. It's a ridiculous number.
What
He duo queued with Meluno.
Uh-huh.
It was more or less Renekton Mundo, Aurelian Mundo. I'm not sure what else Meluno played, but yeah, they both started Smurfs together, leveled them up through normal games, had some fun, got into ranked and just face rolled it all the way.
So naturally, since Sypher has Taric Alistar, it's a very, very easy invade composition. You know, you land a Taric stun, you're going to be able to follow up with Alistar, and then Riven's got that mini stun from her Q after just outputting a lot of damage, so you're going to look for an invade by Sypher. That's something that they've been trying to do actually for the last 30 seconds. The first time they actually bump into the ward, so that prompted them to back out, and they swung around and looked for a gank again, but CLG.eu knows what they're up to, and they just post and can see them coming before they can close the distance and set up for a proper gank. So they've faked it, backing out, but they're still looking for that gank. They're banking top lane going back too, so it'll be a 4v4. However, CLG does not have as much CC, and at any point if Taric lands a stun, somebody on CLG is gonna die.
Does drop a reward in this bush. Leona will do the same. They actually managed to kill it. That's very nicely played, Sypher.
The attack from Anivia started coming out as the ward was fading, but since the attack already went out, it landed just in time to finish killing the ward. Oh, Alistar got it. Surprise.
Did he?
Yeah, Alistar got the ward.
Oh yeah. And he smites down the blue buff. So, I mean, if that ward had stayed in there, CLG might have contested that. They not with just too many stuns, but I mean, with Vision, it's such a huge deal, isn't it? Something this early on. That Pete had to, not Pete. Creepo went back to start with, had to grab himself a couple extra wards. He's used those up, and Yellow Pete as a result 2v1ing slightly gets zoned out by Taric and Yuumi. I'm gonna watch how these lanes shape up. I'm really interested to watch this mid lane. Because as we say, Froggen is known to be his Anivia, and Moose is a really good Anivia as well. And how is Froggen going to put Orianna up against this bird?
I think Anivia should have an advantage just because Nocturne fell a little bit behind in jungle. He started with boots 3 pots. When you start with boots 3 pots and you get counter jungled really like that, you're going to lose a lot of HP, and you can't gank as a jungler on low HP because that actually allows the other team to just counter you and kill you before you can do a sizable amount of damage. And so generally, when you lose a lot of HP like that and get counter jungle, starting with boots 3 pots specifically, you're just going to be able to only passive farm for quite some time. So you're going to see some pressure from Alistar throughout the next 2 minutes, whereas Nocturne is unable to output any pressure until he goes back and buy.
We do have Alistair approaching top lane, obviously pre any kind of wards for Wicked. He's not got a red buff, just got a blue, but he dashes in. Could be too much for Wicked. Headbutt into the bush, flashes away before the pulverized lands. Nocturne's close, but he's not going to be needed. And now, Hycrobot just going to hide in the top side zone. Wicked slightly. See if he goes a little bit too far forward. Blue buff's going to give him plenty of the mana for a headbutt pole.
Sneaky right now. I'm surprised he didn't do the headbutt pole combo.
There's a flash, there's the headbutt, there's the pole. Kickiss will follow it up. There's the stun comes up from Riven, sorry. The Ignite's ticking down.
He's getting kited so hard right now.
And wow, Wiki gets the stun down. Kickiss will drop to the tower. Outplayed if I ever saw it. And Wicked is out for blood. He wants to get his
I was almost certain Wicked was dead. That was a 2 auto attack kill right there, but he kited back and forth enough.
Oh, the way.
Oh, that's a second kill. That's a guaranteed second kill.
There he is, dashes in, pops the true damage, gets one auto attack down, gets the second one, and he waits for the dot damage, but he'll use the equilibrium strike. Wicked, 700 gold up on Riven in the top lane, not to mention CS. Well and truly snowballing hard.
That was a really good play by Wicked. I was almost certain he was gonna die. Even though that was a bad engage by Alistar, he went a little bit too early. I would have waited about half a second more so Riven can close a little bit more distance, so they can properly chain all that CC that was going to come out. Because you know Wicked's splash is down. So if Alistar just waited half a second, let Riven close that distance more, that means he's going to be able to do more damage with his Q. So Wicked actually wouldn't even be able to get back to tower in time to pull that move. So even then, I'm very, very impressed by how well he kited Riven behind that tower, letting Alistar take 2 tower hits, and then Riven got hit for 4 more and just gets killed.
The experience you get playing quite like that. Wicked, he's gonna have a smile on his face right now.
He's grinning really hard. One thing I noticed, which isn't quite obvious all the time, is when Alistar was in that brush and he's trying to get back to his tower, Wicked treaded towards the brush close enough where Alistar would be able to stun, and then backed out without vision, so he's anticipating a pulverize before Alistar runs back to tower. So he kind of went in, faked it, got him to pulverize, and backed out. So it was either Alistar's bad reaction, or that was a really, really good bait by Wicked, and it's well timed by him. And I think it was a little bit of both, and so, you know, Wicked played that very, very well, and Alistar.
As the bot lane, Alice is down the headbutt, pulverized with the red buff. The attack is onto Pete, he cleanses it. Not quite enough as kill goes to Lune. They're not going to chase Creeper any further under the tower. No, they are dragging it back, 2 kills to 1, and they are going to... In fact, they're doing a lot of damage to his bottom tower, both of them attacking onto it. The headbutt and pulverize goes out onto Creepo, back up in this top bush. Sun goes down, there's more auto attacks. The red buff's going to keep high Creepo chasing.
Holy moly.
Creepo flashes away with just enough health calculated.
He was literally 1 auto attack off. Had Alistar gotten 1 auto attack off, with the damage from his auto attack and red buff, that would have been dead. That would have been a dead Leona, so that was very, very close play.
Nocturne only just cleared the blue buff. After it was stolen by its Sypher, they left one of the little lizards up. Frogut's just gone back there. I mean, you check the timing. He went back there thinking it would have respawned, going to give it to Froggen, and found a lizard. So Froggen going to be even more behind, with especially, in fact, when Olivia gets her blue buff, because we all know quite how strong she can farm with that ult and Q combo. Wow, there's a Brutalizer up on Wicked already. First back, boots to Brutalizer.
He's just pressing his advantage right now. He knows he's got that 2 kill over Riven, so he's more concerned with pressing advantage and killing Riven on top than just surviving and farming up. So he's going a very, very aggressive build right now. I'm not sure if Brutalizer is a common early build for Wicked, but it's one of those items where if you have a very, very early advantage and you get a Brutalizer, your damage is going to start skyrocketing, and you can press that advantage a lot easier. Because with that extra cooldown, with that extra armor pen.
Bot lane, sorry, flash, headbutt, pulverize, goes on to Yellow P. He's going to be the focus. Will drop again to Liumi. Second death. First one went to Lune, of course. But bot lane being camped now by this Alistar. And he's just going to back out and recall. Wicked. He trades nicely with Kickers. I think he even took a tower shot there and made it up.
Riven's got to be careful very soon. He's completely out of health pot.
He is really low as well. He took those ults from Wicked. Still not seeing too much